Hello there, friends. Welcome to the Now Best Kitchen. So it's a brand new year, and what I like to do beginning of the year is prep a lot in anticipation of cooking quick meals. We all don't have a lot of time to do a lot of cooking in the kitchen. So today I'm inviting you over to join me in preparing our tomato-based stew. This will be useful in so many ways. Anything you're going to prepare throughout the year that requires a well-developed, flavorful tomato-based stew. You know, your jollof rice, your wache stews, your chicken, beef, fish stews, your gravies, just whatever, you name it. So I'm inviting you over. So far, I have prepped all my onions. And the onions were a lot because I love onions in tomato-based stews. Onions are everything in there. I prepped them by peeling them, cutting them up into big chunks, and then chopping them up using the food processor. Right now, I have it on the stove. I am cooking it down, reducing it some before I add some oil. And then I'm also prepping the rest of my ingredients. I have some ginger here. And as you can see, we need quite a bit of ginger for the recipe. So I peel using a spoon. It makes the job a lot easier and even more fun. Then I cut them thinly against the direction of the strands in ginger, and then into the food processor they go with some chilies, some Thai chilies, red and green, some garlic. Then I also have some parsley. I include the stems of the parsley because why get rid of all that flavor? In fact, most of the flavor is stored right there in the stems. Then I process it into a chunky texture. Perfect. And the color in it is giving so much life and freshness. It's going to make our stew taste wonderful. Yes, the ginger and the garlic, the chilies, all of those are aromatics. And when they come together like that, you can't beat them. Now we need some red bell peppers, some green bell peppers also to bring us volume, sweetness, and also counter the acidity in the tomatoes we'll be introducing soon. So we'll blend those also into a chunky texture. Now for my bulk cooking, I buy my ingredients from Restaurant Depot. And here I found these sun-dried tomatoes, and they have been flavored with herbs, a mix of herbs. And because they are sun-dried, they're already dehydrated and also cooked, which is brilliant for a recipe like this because it's a huge batch, right? So you won't be needing to cook down a lot of tomatoes because tomatoes come with a lot of juice. I blend it up using some oil, the same oil I'm going to be using to cook the stew. And here is the texture we have. Now, the onions have cooked down. It's perfect. Now we can go in with the rest of our ingredients, including the oil, to start frying the stew. And today I'm using olive oil to do my cooking because it is a tasty oil. It is a healthy fat. It's actually heart healthy. So now we're frying the stew because the oil has gone in. So all the ingredients that need to be fried must go in now as well. So we start with the tomato paste that must be fried with the tomatoes fried down a bit. So the bell peppers went in, followed by our green relish, which contains most of the aromatics. We will also add some curry powder right now. I have some mixed dry herbs and spices also just went in. Now it's time to stir it all together. You want it to combine evenly. And we're going to cook for about 30 minutes, stirring occasionally. And we're not using a whole lot of oil in this tomato-based stew. Because in the future, when you decide to cook with the base, you can add more oil at that time if it is absolutely required. Even a flavored oil such as palm oil will work well with this base. And again, this is only a base. See even how chunky it is? You can blend it when you're ready to use it. I added my bay leaves now, a little more oil, and stir that in. And let me tell you, friends, this base is a potent one because all the flavors, we have intentionally concentrated them. All right, so a little bit of this base is all you need to make a big pot of whatever it is you're cooking, your jollof, your stews, your soups, whatever. Just name it. This is more like a concentration of very aromatic ingredients. That's what this pot is full of. We haven't even added the sun-dried tomatoes yet. And yet look at the volume. And you know, these are some really strong ingredients. And so therefore, all you need is a little bit to make whatever. So now we're adding our sun-dried tomatoes we blended. And like I said, because this is already cooked and dehydrated, we don't need to do much cooking after it's added. We just want to make sure that we stir it in so it's mixed evenly. Now we cleaned out the food processor with a little bit of water and added that as well because we really don't want any waste. So stir that in. Cook about 30 minutes to 45 minutes, stirring occasionally, and we're cooking on medium-low heat. So when this is done cooking, I will let it sit out at room temperature till it cools down all the way, and then we'll portion them out into airtight containers and store them. They will store up to a whole year in the freezer. When you need one, you just retrieve it, let it thaw, and use it. You can also store it in the fridge. If you choose to store it in the fridge, these are the few things you must do to ensure they store longer. You will need to cook with more oil because every portioned container of stew must be covered completely with oil. The surface of the stew must be covered with oil. So you'll need more oil. You also need to cook longer to dry the stew completely out. You'll also have to add some salt to your stew base because salt is a preservative. And that is all she wrote. They're cooled down and I'm storing them in these airtight 16-ounce and 32-ounce containers. Now I'm going to show you how I used some of the stew to make this quick lunch for my children. I have some spaghetti. Spaghetti is plentiful and inexpensive, and most people have it in their pantry throughout the year. Now, I boiled it al dente using the packaging instructions, and I removed some of the pasta water. I added some corned beef and some of the stew, went in with a little more of my mixed herb and spice blend, some crushed black pepper, some all-purpose seasoning, and that is all she wrote, friends. And lunch was served in no time. In this case, we use our tomato-based stew as our pasta sauce. Excellent for a quick meal idea. Nutritious for growing, active children. You know, this packs flavor, but it also packs nutrition. To make this a true pasta dish, I decided to go in with some Parmesan cheese. Just a few grates of that is all this pot of pasta needed. I stirred that in and yeah, we were serving lunch right away. I 100% hope that this recipe has inspired you to make your own big pot of tomato-based stew, because how useful can this be? So useful, and yeah, you can get quite creative also with different dishes. All right, friends, thanks so much for watching. Make it a great day and have fun, especially in that kitchen. Thank you, beautiful person, for watching the video all the way to the end. Kindly leave me a comment and subscribe down below, and don't forget to share the video as well. Also, watch more videos. It is chop time, and here in Anaba's kitchen, chop time is always yes, friends. So pull up a chair. We are all friends and family here.